Hey Thrive Today Nation, what's up? This is Mark dropping in for a quick video, little success tip for you here today. What's been coming up in some of our coaching calls lately is this principle of success, and I'm going to get to it in a minute, but I want to give you a little bit of backdrop, a little backstory into where this is coming from. So years ago, when I was going through my personal transformation, I found myself into this copy of a book called Success Principles, written by a guy named Jack Canfield. It's a great book. It's been one of the most recommended books that I have shared with people over the last decade. This book was written in about 2010 as kind of a follow-up to another successful book series that Jack was involved with. Now, you probably don't know Jack Canfield. A lot of people don't know his name specifically, but Jack Canfield was the co-author, along with Mark Victor Hansen, to a book series that I'm almost certain you've heard about called Chicken Soup for the Soul. If you haven't seen Chicken Soup for the Soul, you might have seen Chicken Soup for the mother's soul, the father's soul, the teenage daughter's soul, the firefighter's soul. I've seen all these different versions. There are literally dozens of different versions of this book. Next to the Bible, Harry Potter, and 50 Shades of Grey, Chicken Soup for the Soul is the most successful book series of all time. That puts it, I think, in fourth or fifth place with maybe some other successful ones in more recent years. It's still out there, still in circulation. It's in almost every language on the planet. Hundreds and hundreds of different versions of it exist and are available. What's interesting about this series, prior to the success, Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen were taking the concept out and shopping it with their publishers. They had their very first version, and all the publishers that they talked to, almost every single publisher, said, nope, we're not going to do it. In fact, I think they went through something like 147 or 153. It was a significant number of publishers that all said, no, 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 we're not going to publish your book. Nobody is going to read a collection of short stories, warm-hearted stories, put into a collection in a single book. Nobody's going to read this. And as you can tell based on what I've shared and maybe based on what you know, the book series has been massively, massively successful. So when Jack Canfield talks about success, anybody who's willing to battle through almost 150 rejections in a row to get their idea bought into, I'm going to listen. So in chapter 12 of Success Principles, the follow-up book that I mentioned, Jack mentions the principle of acting as if. This has been, for me, one of the most imperative principles that has led to my success and the success of many people that we have worked with here at Thrive Today and the various generations of our company over time. Acting as if basically means I get to get into the spirit of what it's like when I'm already as successful as I'm going to be. Often we don't think of ourselves as successful because we get caught up in the day-to-day and we look at the details of what's not looking perfect right now. What successful people do is they start to automatically work into or get into that state. They get into the mindset of what it looks like, what it feels like to already be having success. I'll give you a quick example. I'm just going to use a salesperson as a quick example, because a lot of our coaching clients have some sort of sales responsibility or sales role. When we work with successful salespeople, the difference between them and those that just want to be successful is they start getting into the mindset of where they are going. They start to get into the persona, the feeling of where they are going. They start to ask the kind of questions that a successful person asks. They start to hang around with the kind of people that a successful person hangs around with. They start to make the kind of decisions that a successful person makes. And they feel absolutely worthy of the success as they start to create it. I'm acting as if I'm someone who's already in a role of success. I don't think of myself as someone who's, on their way there. I'm not there yet. It's a mindset switch. And when I start to get into that mindset of whatever level of success it looks like, I start to show up different. So if it is a sales example, as an example, there are certain numbers of calls that a successful salesperson makes. And so I begin to get into a status of someone who has those types of conversations. There's a certain type of discovery that happens with successful people. And so then I get into that level of discovery, and I do it that way. I start to act as if I am that person instead of feeling unworthy about it, instead of putting it off until later. I get into that state. The faster you do that, the faster you can start to act as if you are already that person. You are already at that level of success. The faster the real success, the numbers, the results, the things that we measure, the faster those will start to show up for you. So, my friend, if you get a chance, grab a copy of the book, Success Principles. I highly recommend it. Principle number 12, pay attention, act as if. It's your time to thrive today, my friends. No more surviving. Let's go get it.